Hello, everybody. Welcome to our demo day, the October edition. We are here to launch some amazing careers this morning, and we thank you for joining us. If you are here and you're celebrating and you're watching this and you like what you see, please hit subscribe down below, and you can follow along and watch along as we continue to develop and grow the careers of people who join us here at Uvaro. That's what we're here to do. As you're watching the competition this morning, please definitely celebrate and look at or have your eyes out for our judges and our competitors. Share and post them and tag them. Help to celebrate what they're achieving today and what they're trying to do. That just helps to bring more visibility to their success and what they're here to do and here to compete and ultimately demonstrate what they've learned and launch some amazing careers. We have to run through our demo today, our demo day competition today. We have 4 amazing judges who are donating their time to be part of this experience with us. And we couldn't do this without our judges. So a huge thank you to having judges group here that is going to be assessing and evaluating each one of our competitors today as they go through the competition, and giving great feedback and building up our competitors as they go through this competition. So we'll go through and we'll do an introduction to our judges. We have 4 amazing judges. And in our Zoom room right now, we have our judges, we have our competitors, and we have our buyer, as well as other members of the cohort, all waiting on standby. And we're going to let you into the room to see each of them in a minute. Our 4 competitors for today have just finished or are on the brink of finishing a 12-week-long bootcamp program. And today is a culmination of all that they have learned. So here are 4 competitors you'll be meeting, each of them as they go through their pitch this morning. And they are going to be competing with each other, but they have also collaborated with each other a great deal over the course of these 12 weeks to get to this place. These 4 competitors do not know the order that they're competing in yet. So they're all anxiously awaiting in Zoom for us to let you in to see who's going to compete first, and then we'll get the competition underway. Before I let you in, we do have a few house rules that we have given to our group that is in that Zoom room. So we have 5 things that they need to keep in mind as they're going through. Their microphones are going to be kept on mute throughout the competition. We are going to have our buyer and then our seller are going to be in active conversation, but we're going to ask that everybody is on mute through that time. We do want people to keep their cameras on. We want them to use chat and engage with each other in that Zoom room and use our YouTube chat. So if you're following along on YouTube, please chat here as well. And this is a space, if you are engaging in that chat, to build up and give feedback to others and celebrate what you're seeing from others, not to rib on or tear down the competitors you see. This is one of the, and will be very likely the toughest demo that these 5 or 4 competitors are going to do in their career. So we want to celebrate what they're achieving here today. 5th and finally, remember to share this event on YouTube. So it will be recorded and it will be live. And something that you can do this morning is share it with others who might want to see and participate in this, and definitely share the recording as well, as our competitors will be doing today. These are the rules for the people that are in the Zoom room. For those who are getting ready to compete, there are some rules of engagement for them. So our competitors are given a very tight and strict set of guidelines that they need to follow through as they go through the competition. As they get started in their pitch, they will be going through and introducing what they're pitching and who they are pitching to. They have 15 minutes tight. So this is not a 15 minutes and 35 seconds. This is 15 minutes. There's a gong that will smash at the end of those 15 minutes if they do not finish that pitch. So they are working within a very, very tight timeline. Judges will be getting 2 minutes to fill out scores. So after each competitor goes, our 4 judges will be filling out their scorecards for our competitors. After our first 2 competitors go, we will have a 5-minute break. So that'll give everyone a chance to recaffeinate, to grab some water, to stretch their legs, and then we'll be back for our final 2 competitors. And then at the end of the program, our champion will be revealed. So if you're ready, I'd love to bring you into our Zoom room and we can meet our competitors and our judges this morning. So here we go. Bring everybody in. All right, if I can have everybody in our Zoom room just wave and say, hello, world. Hello, world. Hello, everybody. So welcome to our competition. let's get ready to go. So we have in the Zoom room, we have our 4 competitors. We have members of the cohort, we have our buyer this morning, and then we have, of course, our judges. So let's start there with a quick introduction to who our judges are. So we're going to go through to our 4 judges. Let me stop sharing my screen here for a moment. And our 4 judges are, I think I stopped sharing there. So we'll introduce our 4 judges. So first of all is Cedric D'Souza. So Cedric, if you could, give us your name, what you do by day, Cedric, and then if you could, what are you listening to these days? Doesn't give us a sense for the kind of mode you're in. What kind of music are you listening to these days?
I like that one. That's good, Greg.
Hi, I'm Cedric D'Souza. I'm an account executive at Momentive, formerly Survey Monkey. And right now I'm listening to, well, I'll always listen to J. Cole. So that's the mood that I'm always in.
Okay,
J. Cole
so
mood.
keeping the energy up. I like that. Perfect. Our second judge, so Megan Durnford. Megan, name what you do by day and what are you listening to these days?
Hi, my name is Megan Durnford. I'm an account executive at Salesforce. And right now, Taylor Swift is releasing all of her music again. So I've been on a really big T Swift binge. So that's where you'll find me.
All right. You know what? I had opinions about Taylor Swift that have been changed recently. So maybe you and I could riff on that at some point. All right. So before we introduce our other 2 judges, we are going to reveal who our first competitor is so that they can get themselves ready. So competitors, our first person up this morning is Nawab. Get yourself ready to rock. So Nawab, you are going to be up first. So you have 2 minutes to get yourself ready to rock and roll. But we'll go back to our judge introductions. Kenny, you do a quick hello, what you do by day, and what you're listening to these days.
Sure. Yeah, Nawab, I'll try to extend this out a little bit longer for you as I'm empathetic towards the competitors.
Nice.
Hey everyone, my name is Kenny, one of the co-founders of a company called Kicksaw. We're an implementation services company for Salesforce specifically. And by what I listen to is, I like the suspense. So I go on shuffle and I don't see what comes on. And it could be J. Cole, it could be T Swift, everything from top 40 to hip hop and rock is probably what's in the mix there.
Okay. So, I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with being eclectic. We shared some music in the cohort that's competing today, and having an eclectic mix, I think, is a good way to keep it fresh. So that's great. And our 4th and final judge, Donna. Thank you for being here. Donna, what do you do by day and what are you listening to these days?
A good question. So by day, I have the distinct pleasure to be co-founder and COO of Uvaro. So really excited that I was finally allowed in as a judge. Thank you, team, for letting me do that. Really thrilled to be here. And you know what? Listening to these days, I think my most commonly played track is ocean sounds as I go to bed, so that I can go to bed to the soft sounds of waves kissing the shore. That's got to be my hottest track right now. Take it or leave it.
I was about to look up ocean sounds online and see who's produced an album called Ocean Sounds. I'm sure that sounds like a John Mayer track actually to me, but anyway. Cool. Well, thank you to our judges. All of this wouldn't be possible without you. So thank you for giving your time. Thank you for being here and being part of the journey for our competitors today. This is huge way for us to continue to learn and grow together. So thank you. So with that, we're ready to get started. Nawab, how are you feeling?
I'm about to throw up, but I'm okay.
All right.
It's all good. I'm a teddy bear.
Well, so before Nawab gets started, our buyer today, so the person who each one of our competitors is going to be pitching to, is our very own Adam Stevens. So Adam, please give a wave. Adam is going to be wearing a variety of hats today and is going to be taken through each of these four pitches. And so what I'd ask is, as you get started, Nawab, and for each of our competitors, start again with who you are, who Adam is, what you're pitching, and then we'll be off to the races. So what I'm going to do, Nawab, I'm going to pass the mic to you. Make sure you're all set to step in and do your screen share. Please share with us who you are, what you will be pitching, and then the clock will start for your pitch to Adam.
Okay. All right. So thank you, everybody. I am Nawab Manjee. I'm from Chicago. Today, I'll be pitching a company called Relay Financial. It's primarily a business-to-business digital-only bank, specifically designed for bookkeepers and accountants. Primarily, our customer base is only in the United States as of right now, but there are plans to expand to Australia and Canada. But again, we'll get to that another day. So I guess without further ado, when do we start this timer?
So the floor is yours. We'll start the timer at 3, 2, 1, and go.
All right. All right. Hey, Adam. I'm Nawab with Relay. How are you today?
Nawab, I'm good. How you doing today?
Good. I'm doing great. So I'm calling because I saw that you filled out a form on our website and you're inquiring about a demo with Relay Financial. I'm hoping you still have 15 minutes. Is 15 minutes still good for you today?
Yeah, I've got to jump into a meeting right after 15 minutes, so I do have a hard stop, unfortunately. But I am interested to hear about your product.
No, perfect. Hopefully I can get over everything, give you back some time. But yeah, let's go ahead and get started since we're on a time crunch. So first, let me just give you a quick overview of today's call. I'm just going to go ahead and ask you some questions,
Sure.
kind of determine where our values can help solve your problems.
Right.
And then I'm going to kind of just go over our slide deck, kind of demonstrate it for you, show you a couple screenshots, and then kind of get you rolling to get signed up. And at any point, if you do have some questions for me, usually I would tell people to, wave your hands, interrupt me. I used to tell people they could throw stuff. Obviously, you can't do that anymore. But yeah, just interrupt me at any point if you do have any questions. All right.
Got it.
Also, just to kind of let you know, my eyes kind of go everywhere. I have 6 screens in here and I'm also taking notes. I promise you, I'm not doing the crossword puzzle. So you may see me look down and write something down. It's all relevant to the conversation. I just want to make sure that I'm hearing you, right?
Oh, I appreciate that. I do the same thing. I've got, continual banks of monitors that are up. I'm reviewing clients' accounts, that kind of thing. So I'm looking all over.
Yeah. Okay, great. So, just real quick, 2 weeks ago, I was talking to your colleague, Greg Boyd, and I'm real sorry to hear about it. I saw on LinkedIn, he got ate by a shark. That's crazy.
A freak accident. I mean, I warned him about going down south at this time of year. It's terrible. Yeah.
Well, my condolences to, the staff there, his family. Shark attacks are real, right? So
it's a real thing.
It's a real thing, right? So really, let's get back to business, right? First, I just kind of want to ask you, do you have any specific challenges with your current banking? I know right now as an accountant, you're probably dealing with 8 different banks between your clients, then your own banking. But, is there any challenges you're having before we get started?
Well, yeah, like you said, I mean, yeah, I'm operating over about, like I said, 8 different banks. I've got about 25, I think about 25 different clients that we're working on right now. We're growing and scaling really fast. And I'm finding that part of the issues that I have are, I'm having to jump back and forth between different accounts. Sometimes I'm having clients that, they text me or they IM me, their banking information, which I'm aware, I don't do that. That's so insecure. So I'm looking for a way in which I can help streamline that solution.
Yeah, no, definitely. And we'll kind of get into that. We'll kind of get into that as well. But right now, what kind of services are you offering? Are you just doing straight tax work? Are you doing bookkeeping and accounting? Are you offering assistance with accounts payables for your clients?
Yeah, great question. Yeah, so we kind of cover the gamut. We kind of market ourselves as the one-stop shop for your accounting needs. And so so there will be times in which, we need to pay invoices, collect money and information and move it around between accounts. Need to do some reconciliations and, basic bookkeeping, that kind of thing.
Yeah, no. So kind of, honing down on that a little bit, when you are handling your clients' expenses in the bookkeeping, how often are you having to like chase down invoices or kind of reconcile the bank with like their credit card expenses? Like, is that
all the time?
How bad is it though? Like, I mean, would you say you spend a good amount of time on that?
Certainly. Yeah. I mean, I often think to myself, how much time in the day am I wasting trying to track down, all of these different items. They exist in different types of systems. So, I need to be familiar with, every single client's, particularities with regards to their financial technical stack. And, sometimes that can be a little bit difficult, especially with the pressing needs of the day.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if a lot of these problems are solved, what would you be doing with that free time?
Probably not in the office as often as I am. Well, I'm probably not sailing because of, poor Greg.
Yeah, you don't want to go swimming with the sharks, right?
I'm not nearly as strong a swimmer as he is, but
okay, no, awesome. So and then just kind of another couple questions, if that's okay. What does your workflow kind of look like for your clients? Like, I understand obviously you're handling their bank and you're handling their taxes and their bookkeeping, but like, let's just say, when a bill needs to be paid, how does that workflow happen for you?
Right. Yeah. So, it's a pretty simple process right now. And I'm sure that it could probably be optimized, but usually what happens is I'll get an email that comes in from a client, and they'll say, hey, we've got this bill, this needs to be paid now. Every so often they might give me a line or two, in the email that says, hey, I'm looking to have it assigned to this, or, this is for, the website development, or this is for, training, or, those kinds of things. But, there are times in which it's kind of left to my own. I just get a bill and there's nothing. There's no explanation.
So here in a couple of minutes, I'm going to kind of touch on that one, because we do offer a really great feature where half the time you won't even have to reach out to your clients. But just to kind of touch back on what you had talked about a couple minutes ago when it comes to like user access to your client's banking information, how are you managing like the list of all these passwords, and what percentage would you say are you using your client? I know something you mentioned earlier that sometimes your clients just give them their username and password.
Yeah.
What percentage of the time are you doing that? And then how are you managing all these passwords? I mean, are you using like some DoD encrypted spreadsheet, or,
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's a great question. So, we have used spreadsheets right now. I mean, admittedly, we're not terribly well set up on this, and we're using a combination of spreadsheets, and occasionally we'll have our clients share like LastPass passwords with us with account information, that kind of thing. So it'd be just great if we had it all in one spot where I can just pull it easy.
So real quick, we only have about like 5 minutes left, so I'm going to go ahead and jump into the demo. Do you mind if I share my screen with you?
Oh, that would be great. I'd love to see what you've got on the back end here.
I'm going to go ahead and share my screen right here with you. Oh no, really? I'm not sure if you see it. What are you seeing right now?
I'm saying Relay Financial there.
Okay, perfect. So we're right where we want to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let's get this show going. All right, so real quick, as I mentioned, I am Nawab Manjee with Relay Financial. Relay Financial is a bank that is specially geared towards companies like you. And what I mean by that is bookkeepers and accountants, especially when we're having situations where we're, where we're having multiple clients dealing with different banks, and we kind of want to streamline that, right? So just really quickly, I'm just going to get into it. I kind of already went over who I am and kind of what Relay is, but I do kind of want to touch on exactly what Relay Pro is. That was me about like 10 pounds ago and about 8 inches of hair ago, right?
So okay. Same.
Anyway, Anyway, so one of our clients actually has the same exact problem as you do, where if they can reconcile all of the transactions from their clients with the bank without having to need to deal with the client, things just go so much easier, right? And then again, you could spend time, swimming with the sharks, right? So again, and as we mentioned, using Relay Financial and getting your clients to use Relay Financial, you won't actually have to have access or their username and password, right? You'll just automatically have access on the platform to each and every single one of your clients. And we kind of address that poor data quality. Again, you'd spoken earlier about how sometimes the information, just doesn't connect, right? So just doesn't connect. You kind of just see a transaction and it kind of looks weird. You can't get a hold of your client. And so you're just kind of having to guess, right? So another great thing about Relay is our integration. You can integrate with your clients, QuickBooks and your client's Xero. One thing I'll get into later is it is free. So that's pretty cool. But going back to what you said earlier, right? You were talking exactly about how sometimes you'll see this right here, this top transaction where most banks, and you just see the transaction, you don't even know what it is. But with Relay, we kind of have an algorithm where we get all these transactions, we kind of determine exactly what type of transaction it is. So then you're able to actually put it in your chart of accounts. It goes under travel expenses. You're able to find out who spent that money. And then exactly, more than just, Stutter Stockton, you're able to find out exactly what parking garage it was, right?
Oh, I see. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. No, so it actually, you won't even have to contact your clients half the time. Obviously, there might be one or two transactions here, though. You might have to send an email out or get on the phone. But, obviously now at this point, we've already eliminated two types of phone calls you're going to have to make. You don't have to call and get those usernames or passwords or have them to, second authenticate you, via text message. And now you don't have to call them about these, little transactions, right? So again, you're going to have access to your client's banking. They'll also be able to create access user permissions for their own employees. In addition, you can switch between clients on the portal, right? So again, we do have the no fee option. Relay Pro is $30 a month. I'll kind of touch into the partner program here in a minute. Again, as I touched on the user permissions, but what I do kind of want to get into is some of our integration. So you can integrate with your client's accounting like QuickBooks and Xero, but you can also integrate with any expense software such as Expensify or payroll software such as Gusto, right? So, and then, the bill pay option that, we offer, it does have a multi-step approval, right? And so what we're kind of looking at here is our bill pay platform, and you have your unpaid bills, the bills that need approval. So anybody that's going to spend over $100, they might have to get a secondary approval, right? So I know
great. Okay. So there's a workflow in here.
I'm sorry. Yeah, I'm sorry.
Sorry, I was just going to say that there's a workflow in here.
No, definitely. So I apologize. We're going to have to, you have to get to your meeting here in about 2 minutes, right?
Ooh,
so
yeah, that's right.
I don't want to ram through the rest of this, right? But I do kind of want to address a couple things, like here is how the approval process works, right? So you can set different steps of multiple approval processes. Someone spending over 10 grand, they need to get approval from 2 or 3 different people, right? And then again, as I mentioned, and I demonstrated earlier, the MasterCard or our platform where you can actually see transactions. And then kind of getting into Relay Pro, it just offers a couple more features such as same-day ACH settlement, centralized accounts payable. Just if you look on the right, it automatically imports your data from QuickBooks instead of you having to manually do it. You can pay your bills in batches. There's tons of other features. But and then also in the partner program, just real quick, if you are going to get your clients signed up, we actually give you up to 27% of the revenue we receive from them. We actually put it in your pocket. So not only are our services almost pretty much free for you, but when you're actually getting your clients to sign up, you're actually getting a little bit of money out of it, right?
Yeah, this sounds good.
So, what I want you to do, because you have to get to your meeting, right?
Yeah.
I want you to do this for me. I want you to go to relayfi.com. I want you to sign up for a bank account. It takes 2 or 3 minutes. I would do it with you, but it requires you uploading your EIN and some private information.
Right.
And frankly, we've talked about privacy and security already. It's just not something I want to do. But once you sign up, I'm going to get a notification, and then I'm going to reach out to you, and then we're going to set up 30 minutes with me, you, and one of my customer success agents, one of my customer success managers, so we can help you, start bringing your data into Relay. So with that said, I know you probably only have a minute left. Do you have any questions?
Yeah, this is great. I suspect that we probably can cover this off in our longer meeting. One of the items that I'll be curious about is how do we, what kind of security features do we have with this? Since that's always a concern.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, so just to kind of touch on that real quick, you're able to instantly set up user access and then different types of user permissions, such as read only. This person can pay bills. This person can authorize transactions up to this much. This person can only see this much. So yeah, to kind of answer that question, yeah, there's definitely something. Another cool thing that I kind of want to touch on that I didn't really get to talk about is I know a lot of your clients probably use QuickBooks Bank right now because it integrates with QuickBooks accounting software. One thing with it.
Oh, that's great. Yeah,
with a lot, yeah. So we actually integrate with QuickBooks and Xero accounting software, but the advantage we have against QuickBooks Bank is not only do they charge money, we're free, but what they use is they use a system called the envelope system. So when you receive all of your money into one account, some of it's for payroll, some of it's for accounts payables, some of it's for this or that.
That is our gong. That is our gong. That is our gong. I was trying to emulate that as best I could here in our environment. Nawab, you were so close.
I had extra time, so I was like, well, I'm just going to talk about features. I don't know. Like I was ready to get the call
yeah,
over.
I know.
You know what I mean? But he started talking and he's like, oh, I don't have to get off the phone. So, I don't know. I guess I should have been like, sorry, bud, 15 minutes are up. I got to hang up now, I tried to go through everything.
No, that was great.
I had to steamroll that demo though.
Nawab, great work. How are you feeling? How are you feeling?
I wish sorry, that's my dog. She's kind of whiny right now. I wish I didn't, I wish I would have had more time for the actual, the demo. I went through this, I spent too much time, I allocated 7 minutes on my timer for introduction and discovery. I should have probably dropped that down to 6 minutes or at least paid attention to, come on, Mila. Sorry, this is on YouTube too, right? No, I don't know. She never does this, right? I wish I would have had more time for the demo. Yeah, because I kind of steamrolled through it. I did end up adding some slides this morning that I could have probably went without. But let me stop sharing because I'm sure you guys are done looking at these quotes.
Well, so. No, thank you, Nawab. And I will continue on that thread for a minute. Our judges are capturing their scores. Our next contestant to pitch is going to be Patriz. So Patriz, I'm going to give you 2 minutes just to get yourself ready to rock. But our judges are compiling notes and getting all the notes and details organized. But yeah, Nawab, your dog is singing praise. And I just wanted to personally thank you for kind of summoning me to the ocean to be consumed by a shark, and Adam for your role and just kind of going along with that.
Yeah, I couldn't think of a more tragic death for you, Greg, because we were on the phone like 2 weeks ago talking about Relay, and then all of a sudden you're not here for the follow-up call, so I had to think of a reason why. So yeah.
I ghosted you on that one for sure. so thank you for that. And just for everyone who's tuning, the dynamic of the group of the cohort has been collaborative, supportive, and Nawab and others have just worked so hard to support each other along the way. And so getting to this day and getting to this opportunity to compete, Nawab, I know that you got a lot of kudos and praise coming your way, because I think you're just there at the end. You'd gotten the meeting booked and then just had kept the conversation going. So I think we did okay. But well, then you should feel proud of the first effort, and it's always toughest to go first too.
Yeah.
All right. Well done.
Thank you very much, Greg, and everybody else. I appreciate it. Thank you, Adam, for taking it easy on me.
Oh, it's no trouble.
So Patriz, you are on deck. Are you feeling ready? Ready to go?
Ready as can be, Greg.
All right.
It'll be hard to top that one though, so I'm a little nervous.
Well, same thing goes for you. Same thing goes for you here. So you're going to do an introduction, what you're presenting, and who Adam is going to be. And then once you're done that, the floor is yours and the clock will begin. So I will mute myself and put it over to you.
Awesome. So good morning, everyone. My name is Patriz, and today I will be demoing to Adam, who is the director of HR at a company called Narrow. Narrow, let's just say they're a rapidly growing digital marketing company. And let's just say there's a lot going on behind the scenes right now. So, between having to try and raise money, going through some massive changes, employee turnover, really just trying to navigate through some of the growing pains that they're going through. And so Dialogue, for those of you who don't know, they're a virtual healthcare company, which I will get into shortly. And we had a previous phone call that was cut short, unfortunately. And so this will just be a continuation of that. Okay. Good morning, Adam.
Good morning, Patriz. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you? How's your week going?
Yeah, it's going well. I'm sorry that we had to cut off our call from last week, but I'm looking forward to picking things up where we left it off.
No, no problem at all. I get it. Q4 vibes.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Yeah, end of quarter, you know how it is.
You got it. So here's the thing. I'm a little bit starstruck right now, I'm not gonna lie. I've been following you guys for a while now. I just saw your interview last week on CNBC. So you guys are just absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, we're we're really happy with the growth that we're seeing so far. We're really quite lucky. Yeah, and we owe it all to our clients.
Oh, that's wonderful. So anyway, I just had to get that out of the air. I've grown to be such a fan of this growth story that you guys have created. So congratulations on everything so far.
Thanks. Yeah, it's good times, busy times.
I hear you. So why don't we shift gears slightly then? So again, thanks again for taking the call. I did just want to double check, Adam. I had us down for 15 minutes today. Does that still work for you?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, I got to jump in about 14 minutes. Unfortunately, I do have a hard stop.
Not a problem at all. So really the point of today is just to keep the conversation that you and I had going. I know you had questions around employee wellness. I'd love to help unpack some of those with you today. And hopefully by the end of today, you'll get a better sense of why companies decide to buy from us in the first place. And if you think they resonate with you well enough and you want to keep the conversation going, more than happy to discuss what next steps would look like when we get there.
That's great. Thank you.
And even if it doesn't work out, we can totally cool as well and we can part as friends. Is that all right?
Well, that sounds great.
Awesome. So why don't we start there then? Adam, help me understand. For a company that's growing as fast as you guys, how does the topic of employee wellness even come up in the first place?
Oh, great question. Yeah. So, like you said, we've experienced tremendous growth over the last several months here. We're just about to close out a funding round. So that means everybody's burning at all all thrusters firing, as it were. And as we're gaining attention, we're also gaining new clients, and we're trying to hire as quickly as we can. But we're cognizant of the fact that we've got folks who have been working really hard for the last little while here. We're starting to see some of our sick time go up. And so there are some triggers here that are coming off, in the back end of the shop that suggest that maybe we need to divert our attentions a little bit and take a look at our employee wellness program. We haven't had really anything built out as of yet, in an official capacity. So, in this next stage of the business, this is something that I kind of want to put my arms around.
Wow, nice. Clearly there's a lot going on, but I think for you to just even get the conversation going, kudos to you on that. And so I guess you mentioned you didn't really have anything in place right now, but let's say I'm an employee at Narrow and I want to be able to access some sort of benefit, maybe the mental health support since I'm burning out in this case. Can you walk me through how I might go about doing that then? What does the process look like?
As it exists currently?
Yes.
Yeah, it's a little tricky. Something that I'm really conscious of is being able to our employees being able to access these kinds of services with a degree of anonymity and protection of their own privacy. Right now, the way that we've got things set up, they can access it through, our traditional our traditional health insurance, which is all well and fine, but we have found that it can be a bit slow for them to access those services. And as people are working harder, also being able to access them at any time is problematic. Because those services, are typically only accessed through, through business hours, that kind of thing. So we're looking for something a bit more robust, that protects their privacy.
Okay, great. And so, first of all, judgment-free zone here, but employee satisfaction index score. Would you be willing to share what that score is, or what your score is in this case?
Yeah, I mean, and to be honest with you, we don't have an official scoring system or anything like that right now. But I would say, morale is relatively, it's decent. But I'm worried about it flagging with people working so hard for a good long time. It can be difficult. You've got the stresses of work, and then you're also trying to, we're still trying to operate in a pandemic scenario. Yeah. So I would say, they're okay, but I definitely don't want to see it reduce.
Gotcha. Okay. And that's interesting you say that, actually, because typically when we're speaking to HR directors, or actually more specifically, the ones that are reaching out to us, like when it comes to things like this, like an ESI score, it matters to them, and
Yeah.
I think the fact that you and I are having this conversation right now, is it a fair assumption to make then that you'd put yourself in this category as well, that not okay
certainly.
just doesn't do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Okay, just doesn't do it for certain. Yeah.
Okay, so, and okay, we've unpacked quite a bit here, but I think you've given me a lot of information, so thank you for sharing that.
Of course.
Before we even get into any of the product features, I'm sure you're curious as to why companies decide to buy from us in the first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you touched on it earlier, Adam, but really what it all comes down to fundamentally is that companies want to keep their employees happy and healthy. So
yeah.
The big question then is, how exactly do we go about accomplishing this? And there's a few ways. Do you mind if I share my screen with you, Adam?
That sounds great. Thanks, Patriz.
Okay, just confirming that you can see my screen right now.
Yep, I can see it great.
Awesome. So there isn't really one button or specific feature that'll like zap all those problems away, but who we are, and at our core, we're a virtual healthcare company. And the essence of virtual care is that it will allow you, or in this case, your employees as well, to get connected to a healthcare practitioner within minutes. All you need is a smartphone, and it's available 24/7, 365. Where we sort of take it a step further is that we'll integrate this along with an employee assistance plan for your families as well, so that it's all in one platform. So unlike the traditional benefits plan, you mentioned earlier, your employees had just access to traditional health insurance.
That's right. Yeah. And so, the main thing that I'm concerned with is, if they're, if they have immediate need for those kinds of services is, they oftentimes they got to wait until the beginning of the next business day, that kind of thing.
I hear you. And I can't imagine it's been a walk in the park as well, between all the back and forth that goes on in like reviewing each case by case.
Exactly.
So in order to access this, just to add on to what you were saying, first of all, you wouldn't need a 1-800 number to dial in. You'd simply open up the app, select the nature of your ailment, and it's there at your fingertips, 24/7, 365. we're also a little bit unique in that we're focused exclusively on the employer's market. And so essentially you'd be entrusting our team to take care of your employees over there at Narrow.
That's excellent. Okay. And they can access like all aspects of their health service through here.
You got it. So whether it's a skin issue or the common cold, or maybe they're burning out and want to seek mental health supports, it's there at their fingertips. So it erases that need for all that back and forth that you mentioned earlier as well.
Excellent.
So that was a lot to unpack. I'm going to take a quick pause then. Do you have any questions about virtual care or the value that it can provide right off the bat?
Yeah, one of the things I'm curious about here is, okay, so they need access via, or they can use it mobily. Are they able to use it over their computer as well?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, they
Okay.
can.
Great.
Yes.
Oh,
The
good.
reason I just say mobily is because, I mean, we have our phones always, and
Totally.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. I just want to make sure that they've got access to a service that they can use different formats of accessing it. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So, in order for me to do justice in telling you the value that virtual care can provide, I mean, I can obviously tell you, but it'll be a little bit boring, I'm not going to lie. And so I think it needs to be told through the lens of Lightspeed POS. Have you heard of them before by any chance?
I have, yeah.
Well, I'm glad that you did. I mean, they were early adopters of our product, but the reason I bring them up actually is because even though you and I both know that they're a behemoth of a company, no one actually knows what went down sort of before that pre-IPO hype.
Okay.
And actually, I remember that moment so vividly because I was speaking to their VP of HR at the time, and they just secured their Series D. I mean, massive changes all
Busy
around
times.
between employee leaving left and right, really trying to find a way to navigate through those growing pains. It was a do or die moment. And so, first of all, does this story sound a little familiar?
Yeah, absolutely. It does sound familiar. Yeah, certainly.
And so what I want you to keep in mind here is that the moral of the story, which I'll get into shortly, isn't so much about what we were able to provide them with, but rather what they were able to achieve because of it. Virtual care made it possible for them not just to be proactive at a time where they needed to be proactive about their health, but they were able to do this without having to take time away from work. And another thing too is we actually run a survey of our users after they use the app, and we asked them, how much time did you save using dialogue? Take a guess at what their answer was in hours.
God, I have no idea.
4 hours.
Really?
So
like
yeah,
a half a day.
Exactly. It seems like it, doesn't it? This is why we work so closely with HR to promote this within the organization, Adam, because every interaction puts 4 more hours back into the pockets of the organization. And so, as much as we'd like to take credit for all the work, I think we can agree they're the real winners here. I mean, just take a look at that share price.
Yeah, absolutely.
So
okay, so you think that this solution could, as this worked for Lightspeed? I'm sorry, I'm just conscious of the fact that I've got to jump in about 3 minutes.
Yeah.
So Lightspeed, they've gone through a very similar process to us. What do you what do you see as next steps out of this? How do we,
Great. Yeah, we can certainly discuss next step. What I'll do is I'll stop sharing my screen then. And so next steps, what we discussed today was the what and the why. And so following today would involve more of a deeper dive into the how. And it's usually done with Sarah. She's our account executive. I'm happy to hand this over to her and give her my notes, of course. But just out of curiosity, I mean, I get the sense that this is a priority for you because we're talking at the start of Q4. Is there a mutual action plan that's been decided upon, or is there a buying committee that we'd have to involve?
Oh, what a great question. Yeah, so we do have members of our executive team that we'll have to include in on this. Obviously, there's myself here. I'm bringing this forward, but we need to get buy-in with our with our larger HR team, our COO. I'd like to have our CEO involved, in some of the aspects of this health and wellness program. Yeah.
Absolutely, no problem at all. So just want to write them down. And so what I'll do then, Adam, I'm going to pull my calendar up for you.
Great.
And just out of curiosity, would Tuesday at 3 or Friday at 4 work better for you?
Oh, Friday at 4 actually works great.
Friday at 4, perfect. So I'm going to send an invite to you. And if you don't mind, I'll touch base with you after our call today, just to get the names of those people that you mentioned, just so I can include them on the invite as well. Obviously want to make the most use of your time as well. But I think from there, you'll be in good hands. I'm of course happy to keep the conversation going with you. And I'm going to send all this information to you. I recorded today's meeting as well, so you'll have all of that available too, okay?
Thanks, Patriz. I really appreciate it.
Wow. Time. Oh. Whoa. We are at time.
That was amazing. That was right up to the second there, wasn't it?
It was to the same. Patriz, you got the meeting. Patriz, you got the meeting. You're booked. Well done. How are you feeling, Patriz?
I mean, when I first did my demo in class, I was, I think, 38 seconds over. So I didn't know how I was going to do it here, but I knew I had to figure out something.
Well done. Adam, you've had your work cut out for you in the last 30 minutes or so, being an accountant and then an HR professional.
Yeah,
you're keeping everybody on their toes. Yeah, but Patriz, excellent work. Nawab, excellent work to the both of you. We've got 2 competitors left to go. But what we are going to do before we get to our second set of competitors, we are going to go to a quick break. So there's a 5-minute break to top up on caffeine, water, take a quick trip to the restroom, whatever you need to do. But we'll be back in 5 minutes. For those watching live on YouTube, this isn't, we're not going to leave you hanging. We've got some content for you to review, but we're going to take you out of our Zoom room for 5 minutes. We'll bring you back for 2 more demos and we'll keep the competition going. So see you in 5 minutes, everybody.
To be the best salesperson, you have to come from the perspective of wanting to help your prospects.
Looking in, I kind of thought sales was just the end game. Like, get them in, hurry up and get them to agree, get them to sell, get them to sign, and you're good. Make your boss happy.
I always felt that I was tricking people into buying my product or service.
I think the biggest thing is in your value. Not only your value, but your product's value. And also being able to articulate that value to the buyer. I think that's the biggest thing.
With Uvaro, I learned that cold calling, prospecting, writing emails, doing demos, or negotiating, everything becomes easier when you come from this perspective.
I didn't have the power to create that peer-to-peer network. And I think Uvaro, with its alumni and with the whole course so integrated, it is helping me create that peer-to-peer network, which is so important in sales as well as in your professional life.
It doesn't feel like the instructors are there as salespeople at all. Like, they're there helping you get into this field and easing you in.
The content, the guest speakers, just amazing.
The curriculum at Uvaro was really instrumental in holistically preparing us not just for sales, but for a career in the tech industry.
I graduated in 2020, middle pandemic, and I was looking for a job, but I wasn't sure what I wanted to do, and I was kind of looking for some sort of program. It gives me exposure to more technical skills that I can use at day-to-day work and potentially give me more chance to get the internship in the field. Everyone there was so motivated because they're either, like myself, just entering the work environment or pivoting their careers. In general, they had really positive and encouraging environment where I really felt safe to share my opinions and learn together and motivate each other, and everyone's super eager to learn. Everything that I've learned from Uvaro really helped me throughout the recruitment process, because typically most of the roles ask you to do some sort of exercise, like, okay, do the cold call simulation, create the emails, create the prospect list. And if I didn't get that training, I had no idea what's going on. But because I had a training and I was doing day to day, it wasn't even difficult or challenging, and then I could naturally do it. And many people gave me feedback that they were impressed with my work. So I definitely recommend Uvaro, because that really helped me to get the opportunity to get the practical skills. It gave me an amazing network, a lot of motivated, smart people that you can connect with, and it gave me opportunity to the internship. It gave me access to the path. So yeah, I really recommend if anyone's even a little bit interested in going into B2B sales or tech. I'm really glad that I did this program and started my career in tech sales.
Hey there, Joseph Hung here to share how Uvaro can help change your life in just 12 weeks. With the rise of remote work, tech companies are clamoring to hire top talent who can help drive sales, and Uvaro prepares you for exactly this. Our accelerated program is designed to provide you with a hands-on experience and knowledge necessary to thrive in a tech sales role, all while building on your individual talents. Our grads come out fit to be hired and ready to crush quota. But don't just take my word for it. Hear what our grads have to say.
For me, it was a really good chance to up my skills, as well as join a bunch of people who are, aiming for the same thing, which is finding a really great job.
Pre-Uvaro, I think I'd sent off well over 100 resumes and gotten less than a handful of responses back. Post-Uvaro, my success rate went up to over 99% of resumes that I had sent off. I had at least gotten a response back.
The content, the guest speakers, just amazing.
With Uvaro, I learned that there's nothing that I should be ashamed of as a salesperson, because I am there to help.
They are giving you internship. They are giving you this great experience. I thought, okay, I would have never gotten into sales without this course.
Uvaro did a great job of introducing me to a lot of different perspectives, different coaches, different industries. And so just this idea that, you try something, you iterate, and you keep trying again and again until you find something that works.
If you're on the fence, just don't even think about it. Just do it. It is the best career decision I've made.
Download our course syllabus for a detailed breakdown of the full 12 weeks. Reach out to us if you have any questions, and I look forward to seeing you in class.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back. We are halfway through our competition today, where we have 4 competitors who have endured a 12-week boot camp together. They've learned together, grown together over these past 12 weeks, and are now showing off in a Final Four competition where we've had 2 competitors do their pitch or deliver their pitch to our buyer, Adam. We have 2 more left to go. We are going to announce our next competitor for our competition and give them 2 minutes to get ready. Next up is Mr. Nitesh Neema. So Nitesh, you can get yourself ready to rock and roll. You'll be up in 2 minutes, which by process of elimination, Nicholas, that puts you at the end. So now you know, Nicholas, that you're coming at the end. But we've had Nawab, who went ahead and delivered his pitch first, and then Patriz, and now we have Nitesh. And one of the things that this group has talked about over the course of these 12 weeks is this idea of finishing strong. And so in week 2 or week 3, I don't recall exactly, we coined the group Team Mic Drop. And so that was an important consideration, or important part of the story, was when you're finishing a pitch or you're finishing a conversation, to step back and drop the mic. And we've definitely seen that so far from our first 2 competitors, to the desire to come in and finish strong. And so we're now going to be handing the reins over to Nitesh to keep this going. As a quick recap, every competitor, they are delivering a pitch. So 15 minutes to get through a discovery, a demo, and to close that next meeting with Adam. And so it's the toughest pitch they'll likely make. And I think we're all set to dive into our third. So Nitesh, you ready to rock and roll?
Yes.
Very good. With conviction, Nitesh. Ready to rock and roll. So Nitesh, I'm gonna put it over to you, just like before for our other competitors. Please tell us what you're going to be pitching to the group today and who Adam is, so that we are all on the same page, ready to rock and roll. You can do the intro and then the clock will start. From there, it's 15 minutes to the gong. So over to you, Nitesh.
Thank you, Greg. So Adam, we are taking you to a different department now. You are Director of Accounts Receivables and at Best Constructions. There's a lot going on with a lot of activities, and we had our call last time, and when I called you, you were rushing to another meeting. So we did discuss that the Paystand is a B2B payments provider. We provide payments as a service platform. And you did share the concerns and challenges around the payment fees costing to the bottom line of your business. And you are interested to hear what we have to offer. So this is our second call, and we are coming and going to be meeting virtually today. So we can start.
Sounds great.
Hey, Adam, good to see you.
Hey, Nitesh, it's good to see you too. Sorry about last time. I had to run out for a meeting. Unfortunately, I'm also jammed up today too. I've got about 15 minutes and a hard stop at that. Is that okay? Are we going to be able to get through everything, do you think?
Yeah, so no worries at all. I know, director of account receivable is a strategic and operations position, so you're always busy on different activities. So I'll get you out in 15 minutes. So last time when we met, we did discuss the challenges around the payment fees. And I think we are looking around 100K to 120K cost savings opportunity. And that's what I heard from you. And we have shared some data. So I'm going to discuss a little bit more in details. So is that still something you're looking to solve?
Yeah, absolutely. We're definitely looking for a way in which we can help drive down, transaction fees. Just the cost of operations, is increasing. I don't know if you heard, but like last spring, we had that big labor or lumber shortage. And that really affected a lot of our construction costs this year. So we're looking for ways in which we can kind of tighten things up.
Yeah, I know the pandemic has been putting a lot of things in a different perspective, and the things can change overnight. And we have seen that for the lumber prices. It goes up, come down, and it's a lot of challenge to manage, especially when you're looking to grow as well as manage the cost.
Absolutely, yeah. It's a constant challenge to try to manage my costs, with everything fluctuating. Doesn't help that, we also had a backhoe breakdown last week. It's been tough.
Yeah, I know. Okay, so before we proceed, I just want to check on one more thing. So when I'm talking to the companies similar to yours, a lot of time along with the payment fees, they have challenges around integrating their accounting system as well to their payments and accounts receivables. So are you having the same challenges as well?
Yeah, we absolutely are. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So can you see my whiteboard here?
I can, yeah.
Okay,
that's cool.
So let me take you to a journey, and we'll see how we can help you.
Great.
Okay, so when you are sending the invoices, what you can do is you send your invoices and you can send a payment link. And when you send a payment link, your customers will be able to log into a portal. And from there, and this portal can be customized for you. So they will see a branded experience. And when they are coming to that, they will see a lot of options. Okay. And the payments option. So we have the payment options. If you can see here, they'll be able to see the payment options, the ACH, our own network, the card payment as well. And the more they go towards our payments network, the better it is. We have integrated with almost all of the major banks. So when they are logging in, and we can check how their balance is when they log in, and when they submit the payment, you will not have challenges around when the payment is being cleared, whether they had the balance or not. So you will not face that kind of challenge at all.
Okay.
So how does this sound?
That sounds great. That would be a good solution on our end. I'm curious to learn more.
Sure. Okay. So as I mentioned, we don't charge the transaction fees. That is one of the major challenge you are having. So instead of charging the per transaction fee, what we charge is a subscription fee. So we have a flat subscription fee for our platform, and that is what will make you do the cost savings and get the cost savings. Okay. And not only that, when you're looking to integrate your systems, we integrate with a lot of systems. So we integrate with almost all of the major ERP and the accounting softwares. So you'll be able to integrate your current invoicing flow into that very easily. Okay.
Yeah, that this sounds good. Okay, so I can hook in multiple different payment solutions into this platform. Is that correct?
So the payment solution is yes. So different banks, ACH, and all different payment solutions, as well as your different accounting platforms. So it integrates with both of them.
Oh, great. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay. Does that answer it completely?
It does. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. And as we have exchanged some of the information, I did a little bit of a ROI analysis, and just to show you that because of our fixed payments, if you look at your current annual receivables and the projected with your 20% growth projection, we're looking at around, if we don't go with Paystand, we are looking for you to spend 100 to 150 to 180K on the top side, and just the payment transaction fees. Whereas with the fixed fee structure of the subscription platform, we are looking at merely $3,600 with $300 a month for an account. Does this sound? Yeah. So and this is where a lot of the savings is, and we stay with your growth. So as you can see, between 21 and 22, your cost is controlled, and it's not increasing significantly, and that is the big value add. And imagine what you can do with this much of a saving.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we could fix the backhoe, which would be great.
Totally. Okay. So, hey, a quick question for you. So I know you're running the show in your department, and do you want to get anybody else from your team involved in the overall process? Because we want to make sure that when the solution is put in place, your team is happy, you're happy, and as a business, you can take the advantage of the platform.
Yeah, I think we would likely, we would need members of our financial team to be able to have some oversight in this. We do have a small group of of individuals that we'll need to pull into that. I can send you that list of individuals in terms of like next steps. in the conversation. I'm curious here. So when we're taking a look at like the payment solution, you were saying that we scale as we grow. So does that mean, as I increase my number of transactions that I have, like you're able to, like, how are you able to grow me? From that perspective, like you're able to, are there different levels of plans, that kind of thing?
From the platform perspective, we scale, and as your business is growing, we are not increasing our fees, and that is where you continue to add to your bottom line. Because if your payments volume is increasing and you continue to stay with 2-3% of payment transaction fees, then as your business is growing, you will continue to increase more and more in your expenses. Whereas with Paystand, we don't come in a way of your growth.
Well, that's fantastic. So it's just flat.
It is. It is.
Fantastic. Okay, that seems like a good way in which I could help reduce our costs and and manage those costs. That's good.
Awesome. Okay. So I'll involve whoever you send the details about your team. Do you want to provide their details right away, or?
Yeah, that sounds great. I'd love to be able to get my our CFO involved in this. And then I've got a couple of account receivable managers that I'd like to be able to get to see the back end. They're the ones that are kind of jumping in every day, taking care of those systems when they're not fixing the backhoe.
Okay. So I will get their details from you. And the Thursday next week, 4 o'clock sounds good.
Yep, I think that would be fine.
Okay, awesome. So we'll book you for that. And in the meantime, what I will do is, as I'm collecting the details about your team members, I will be sending you, if you can see on the screen, we have a lot of supporting material, and I'll send you the pointed case studies and the supporting material so that you can share it with your team. And they will be able to just get a feel of what the platform would look like, and they'll come prepared with all their questions. So we'll have the best use of time.
That's fantastic. That sounds good. Yeah, any materials that you can send me, so that the team can be better prepped going into that meeting is great. That helps us.
Yeah, I will. Oh, just one message popped up on my screen. So one of our client, the extra.com, they just sent me a good note about how good they felt about the overall integration. And
they just
and they're feeling happy about their payments volume. They are seeing their payments volume is stable and on the new platform, and they are fairly happy with that.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. Well, I mean, if we can have that kind of an implementation rollout, and something be so smooth, I'd love to talk about, what anticipated implementation time would be, in our next call, because that's something that'll come up with the team, I'm sure,
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll go through all the details, and I'll give you your 2 minutes back. And I'm really looking forward to meet you next week, and happy to help you.
Yeah, thanks, Nitesh. It was a pleasure to meet you. I'm looking forward to our next conversation with the broader team.
Awesome.
Thanks.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Nitesh, with time to spare, and you're back in your office in Upper Manhattan. I don't know. We were taken on a journey there, Nitesh.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. How are you feeling, Nitesh? You did it with time to spare.
Yeah, feeling good.
So Nitesh is dialing in from the West Coast, and so I mean, I think you were up well before 6 o'clock this morning, and to get on to get onto this call. and just completed your demo day experience. So congratulations, Nitesh. Well done. Great job on the pitch and even giving some time back at the end of that.
Okay.
You crammed a lot into those 13 minutes.
Thanks, Greg.
Well done. Okay. Well, that brings us, I didn't have to announce who our last competitor was going to be because by process of elimination, that takes us to Nicholas. Nicholas, you're ready to rock and roll. We're going to do the same thing that we've been doing for every one of our competitors. So we'll give our judges a minute or two just to complete entering their scores. But as they're finishing that, if you could do an introduction for us of what you're going to be representing and who Adam is as a buyer, and you'll be on your way. Once you wrap that up, the clock will start.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. My name is Nicholas, and I'm going to be presenting Humi, which is an all-in-one HR platform, more like a software that improves the human resource information system within a company. And the services range from payrolls, benefits, employee onboarding, recruiting processes, and a couple of other HR and client activities. Adam is going to be the director of human resource today, and we did have a couple of email exchanges back and forth. So this discovery is just meant to have a much deeper dive into how I can help him. And
great.
Hello, Adam. Good morning. How are you doing today?
I'm good, Nicholas. How are you doing today?
I'm doing perfect. It's really nice to get a face to the voice and finally.
I know it's so many back and forth over the phone and then email. It's nice to finally actually meet you in person.
Definitely, virtually actually, right? Yeah. Okay, fair enough. So, I trust your week has been wonderful, and I'm also sure you're enjoying your new role as a director of HR. So I would say I'm completely rooting for you, and I know you're
gonna. Thanks.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, definitely drinking from the fire hose. You know, we've got lots of needs in the HR department. I'm hoping that you can help me out here in the next 14 minutes or so. I do have a hard stop, unfortunately. I got to jump into another meeting.
No problem.
Phone screens I got to take care of. But
sounds perfect. No problem. Yeah. So from my research, I actually noticed one fascinating stuff about you, that you're actually a fan of historical war games. And to be precise, I noticed that you got an inspiration from your father and your granddad, which is quite fascinating and very cool. So my question will be, so far, what's the most memorable historical war you've recreated in your makeup basement currently?
Oh wow, that's an amazing question, Nicholas. Yeah, so we did a reenactment of the taking of Sword Beach on D-Day. So everything was 10mm scale, and then we had a 24-foot long table that had a complete virtual representation of that contribution in Canada's history.
Okay, sounds perfect. Yeah. Thanks very much for sharing such a cool fact about yourself with me. So straight up, I'll head right into business. So this meeting is actually 15 minutes on the calendar. Does that still work for you?
Yes, that works. Yeah, great. I've got about 13.
That sounds perfect. I'll try my best to give you some time back. Yeah. So I'll be taking some notes while you're talking, so I don't miss anything you say. So to get right into it, I do have some great news for you. There are no big decisions you're going to make today. How does that sound?
That sounds great.
Okay, cool. So typically after this meeting, one of two things will happen. The first thing might be, after the discussion, you might find out that the company is really not a good fit for you. At that point, we're going to part ways as friends. But if the flip side happens, whereby we find out that there's some things I can help you with, the next step will be to book a 30 minutes call with you sometime next week. How does that sound?
Sounds great, Nicholas.
Thank you very much for your cooperation so far. I really appreciate it. Yeah. So to actually put this discussion into perspective, I do have experience working with the director of HRs of other startup companies, and they literally bang their heads against the wall, just trying to improve their company's HR information system. So you previously mentioned we want to talk about digital employee and improving your recruiting process. Is there anything else you want to talk about?
Yeah, I mean, our processes right now are really quite manual. in approach. I'm looking for ways in which I can go about streamlining our workflows, when we're dealing with any of our HR processes. We do have some digital, like everything is all up in digital, but they're in disparate places. I've got some HR information that's over in, on our Google Drives. I've got some that are in like old HRIS systems from my predecessor. I'm looking to bring everything up into, kind of one solution, like one house, so I can find it and, the team can find it really easily.
Okay. If I understand you correctly, it sounds like your system is quite here and there, and
it is
quite manual, and you're looking for something quite compact that could make it an all-in-one, easy access to information and a couple of other things. Am I correct?
That's exactly it, Nicholas.
Okay, sounds good. And it seems like this issue is, if it's left untreated, it will impact your company in a negative way, considering the fact that you're looking to expand in the next couple of months. So how determined are you to actually make that change?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we, in our business, we're seeing tremendous growth. So much so to the fact that we're just kind of closing out, some rounds of funding, and we know that we're going through a big hiring, spree really shortly here. So I'm really cognizant of the fact that, we have all of these, bits of data and HR information in systems all over the place. And as we scale, that problem is only going to compound itself. We're okay right now. We've got a headcount of about 30 people, but as we increase, into the next year, we're looking to 3x that size.
Okay. I hear you clearly, and to say the least, I can imagine how difficult it is to manage all this while still performing your other functions, and I sincerely sympathize with you in all honesty, right? So that's the least I can say for now.
Yeah, it can be a bit of a headache. I'm curious to see your solution here, and where I can potentially shave off the hours in the day.
Okay, yeah, definitely. That's why we're here actually. So first of all, let me just give you a quick insight of how far we've come so far. So just of late, like about 3 to 4 weeks ago, a frustrated and overwhelmed client of ours who happens to have a HR team traditionally, they actually required about 10 to 11 hours just to onboard one employee. And the moment we stepped into their system and we're able to automate and eliminate the whole manual and disparate system they used, like you just mentioned, we were able to save them 50% of the time invested with their whole HR systems across board. So with that being said, I know based on experience, people like yourself, like directors in your role, are under a lot of pressure. Is that the same case for you?
Oh, yeah, certainly. Yeah, it just feels like you've got, a mountain of stuff that you got to get through in the day and not enough hours. So, if we can shave off time, that's excellent.
Sounds perfect. Yeah. So now I'm going to share 2 things with you with my screen share. And the first is I'm going to show you how cost effective and efficient the employee onboarding system is going to be. And I'm going to show you how improved your recruiting process is going to be if you decide to actually come on board with that profile. So just 1 second. Can you see my screen?
Oh, I sure can.
Okay, so before I dive right in, I want to make you understand that I actually feel your frustration and understand where you're coming from, and I know where you're trying to go to. So I am more than happy to help you. And the only thing I'm going to ask you moving forward is just try to trust Humi for a start, because we definitely are here to help you. Okay. So the first thing I want to show you is right off the bat, once you streamline your onboarding processes, you're able to have that time reduced significantly. So for example, you have some sort of new employees, you actually want to give some documents like employee handbooks, remote work policy handbooks, and all that. You literally just have to click one button to get these documents across to them. This would eliminate a whole lot of things like printing of papers, printing materials, buying printers, and a couple of other things. Right off the bat, you're going to get at least 40 hours of work time back per month if you're able to go with this process based on what it can give you. Then the next thing I want to show you is also going paperless is a thing it's an in thing right now due to the pandemic. And right off the bat, you're able to save time and money and also increase the team's productivity. And why do I say that? In terms of money, ideally it takes about $20 on the average for it to save you $20 on the average once you're on board one employee digitally, because you don't buy papers, you don't buy any printing materials, and it also saves the time required for your administrative officers to get across to them, to get to sign some documents, or to follow up with some documents they need to read and get back to them. So that saves you a whole lot of stress. With that being said, so with the idea of saving money, getting time back to your team, and also increasing their productivity, does it make sense to you in any way?
Well, certainly it does. Yeah. I mean, we're constantly tracking down signatures, in a digital context right now, but, being able to have it in one place, that's a compelling solution for us.
Okay, makes sense. Thank you for that feedback. Yeah. So the next thing I'll just quickly touch base on is being able to automate your offer letters. So ideally, having a template makes it very easy. So you just need to go in and change a couple of keywords. You don't need to always create those letters from scratch, which makes it very much time saving and very much automated, because you did mention earlier on that you have issues of working with a manual system. So this gives you an environment to actually automate a whole lot of things and make your team's productivity hit the roofs. Then in terms of recruitment, I noticed from research, your company currently is doing some adverts on Indeed in terms of job postings. So with this platform, you're able to easily integrate with Indeed, which makes it very much easy. And this is an idea of what's going to look like. So once you have access to this portal, you're able to have a direct, all-in-one, concise information right off the bat. You don't need to pull information from here or pull it from there. Then if you also look at the left side of the screen, these are all the activities you can perform: settings, performance, surveys, trainings, documents, time of tracking, payrolls, people. Those are other features, but for now, the most important thing to you is the employee onboarding and the recruitment process, which makes it very efficient and very much, very much productive for your team to see.
Yeah, it's like a streamlined system. Yeah, I like that you've got that like one click, you can just assign it.
You're very correct.
That's
I agree.
nice.
So to put things into perspective, from our discussion over the past 2 to 3 weeks, I actually got details of yourself, like your company is still your number. From research, on average, HR gets about $25 per hour. Then your average employee currently, you did tell me it's $55,000. Then you're looking to make 15 new employees come on board this year. So to put things into perspective, for this quarter of Q4, you actually are going to save about $13,365 if you decide to come on board with this profile, because it's able to save you issues of time of problems, employee self-service, electronic signatures, and onboarding problems. If you actually look on the left side of my screen.
Yeah, I see that.
Then the second thing I want to show you is, you did tell me that sometime next year, 2022, you're looking to actually have about 100 employees on board. And from my estimate and calculation, you're looking to save roughly about $70,962 for the 2022 calendar year right off the bat if you decide to go with this platform. So just a quick recap, I've been able to show you how you can be able to save about $13,000 in funds and also get back on the average of 40 hours of work time per month with this platform. So my question to you would be, how would you be impacted this year and subsequently next year if you refuse to digitize your onboarding process and improve your recruiting process? How would it impact you?
Oh, that's a great question. Yeah, I mean, I've got to bounce here in about 3 minutes for that phone screen, but I think that in terms of like impact, like how we're impacted, like frankly, we have to move into a digital solution. Like we're already starting to move some of these items digitally, but being able to have them in a central location, that's really, a pain point for us. So this, I mean, if I'm able to get a savings out of this, while we're at it, then like this is fantastic.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree with you, and it makes complete sense. So, just a quick wrap up. So at Humi, we understand people do business with people they know, they like, and they trust. And I did request you to trust me at the beginning. So I hope I am close to getting your trust in that. So with that being said, this is where I drop the mic from my screen here, literally.
Nice.
Yeah.
Good mic drop there. Yeah, excellent.
Exactly. More like
Yeah.
it.
So what do you see as next steps then?
Yeah. So my next step would be asking you a very wonderful question, which is, would it be a terrible idea to proceed with you sometime next week, Tuesday, to book a call with our AE next week,
Yep,
Tuesday around 10 a.m.? Does that make sense?
I think that, yeah, a Tuesday at 10, I think that that works on our side. I'll want to pull a couple of my team members into this,
Okay.
just to get their take on it. But I think that we could work something out.
Okay, sounds perfect. Yeah. And before I forget, I do understand you're relatively new at the role. So is there any other person you have in mind in particular that you'd be looking to bring in on discussion? And what would their name be?
Oh yeah, perfect. Well, I mean, Greg's off on vacation right now.
Okay.
But I'll want to pull him in. He's on the HR team as well. So we'll want to extend an invite to him.
Okay, sounds perfect. Yeah. So your email on file is adamsmith@uvaro.com. Am I correct?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sounds perfect. So thank you very much so far. It's been really nice talking to you. And hopefully one of these days, I'm going to reach out to you for some tips on 3D printing of those miniature guys.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I'll send you some pictures, next time that we chat. Great.
Sounds perfect. Thank you very much. Looking forward to talking to you
Nicholas.
another time. Yeah. Bye.
We'll talk soon.
Yeah.
We are at time. I had on our clock about another 8 seconds to go, Nicholas. I think your clock went off there, but you had a few seconds left. Nicholas, well done. How are you feeling?
First of all, I feel air coming in through my lungs and coming out, so I feel alive. Oh, it was a nice job though. Yeah, it was fun to say the least. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
Oh, well done. And to Nawab, Patriz, Nitesh, and Nicholas, what a fantastic job. You can all breathe easy now, and you've all done just an incredible job taking all of that you've learned and trying to compress that into 15 minutes, which is a very difficult thing to do. And then you add judges and an audience in a Zoom room and an audience on YouTube that will be watching this into eternity. And it brings a whole other level of pressure. So you should be so proud of how you all delivered today. Well done to each one of you. We're going to give our judges a moment now to just get their scores in. So the scores around the opening and the discovery that was done, scores around the demo and how that was delivered, and then the closing for each of our competitors. And once we get those scores compiled, we're going to be announcing a winner for this October's demo day, a champion for Team Mic Drop and our very next demo day. But before we do that, Adam, you were in HR, you were in finance and then HR and finance and HR. You were all over the place today. So
I switched a lot.
Yeah, you did. So any comments from you for the group before we start thinking about or look to hear from our judges?
Yeah, I would just say, amazing job by everybody who was present. It was nice, having the opportunity to speak with you yesterday around your, the specifics, on your presentations and whatnot. I just wanted to say great showing by everybody. Nicholas, your ability there to, do your deep level of research there on your client. You both understood your client, the background of the company there. And I think that goes for everybody here. You had each referenced elements about pain points in each of the companies or each of the buyers that you really honed in on. And that's, so key, being able to speak to that.
Awesome. I think it's great perspective for each one. It is showing up to be tremendously close. So our judges are going to keep updating notes. I see some scores moving around and comments going in. Alex is our career coach here at Uvaro. Alex, you've been tremendously close with this cohort as they've journeyed through their 12 weeks. Any comments for our competitors and for the whole crew that's here with us today before we go for some feedback from the judges?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sitting here and I'm watching the scores and it's like such a clenching moment. I'm like, I've got chills all over me. And I'm not shocked.
I'm not shocked because you guys, I've watched you and I've been beside you and listened to you throughout the 12 weeks. And it's not shocking to see the development, but I mean, the level of finesse and just genuine understanding of what to do in your own way, it is an enormous honor to be able to watch that. And it's been really, really fantastic. Nick, your research, I'm so proud of you to have been able to do that. We shout research from the rooftops here. And Nawab, your energy, and the conviction that you have. I mean, that's my favorite word. Obviously, I think we all know having conviction leads to confidence, and not a lot of people then question you, and it's Nitesh, your level of information that you provide is exceptional, right? You can tell that you've taken the best parts of what you've done and you're now moving towards the thing that you are going to be great in. And it's just unbelievable to see. And Patriz, I mean, you are cool as a cucumber, my love. It is so amazing to see, again, your background in nursing and mental health and being able to bring it here and put a cool mist on everyone's brain and to say, hey, I got you, right? It's just fascinating. And I hope everybody watches this again to see the development and see what you can do and the superpowers that everybody here has unleashed that you've always had. Very, very proud of you. And I cannot wait to see who's won. And I'll pass it back to Greg and Adam to be able to talk about it, but very well done.
Thank you, Alex. You have officially coined the term cool mist on my brain. It's now forever captured and well phrased. So Adam, please, if you could, each of our judges is going to give feedback on one of our contestants. Please, if you could have our judges walk through and share some feedback on each of our competitors today.
That's great. Thank you. Yeah, let's Cedric, do you want to kick us off here?
Oh, for sure.
Thank you.
Just confirm, is it each person or just Nawab?
Sorry, go ahead, Greg.
Yeah, feedback. So Cedric and each of our judges. So Cedric, if you could go for Nawab.
Yeah, perfect.
Specific for Nawab.
Yeah, thanks. Yeah, so Nawab, well done. I like that right away you establish yourself as an expert. And what the workflow is a great question to ask. Maybe start off with that next time, those kind of questions to understand the process, and dive in a little deeper because you had them. Just dive in a little deeper, but overall, well done, Nawab.
Nice, thanks there, Cedric.
Thank you very much for that.
That's great. Thanks so much. Megan, I believe that you were scoring here for Patriz.
Yes. First, I want to say that this was incredible across the board. I had the privilege of coming into class a few times over the last 12 weeks, and to see the growth from each and every one of you is absolutely incredible. So my heart is so full being here. Patriz, one of my favorite things in a buying process is when a customer knows where they're going at all times and taking away the ambiguity around making a purchase. And you did that at every step. You started off with a really clear agenda, which I absolutely loved, summarized the last meeting. You took the pain points into the demo, again, set another agenda. And then at the end of the close, you confirmed that power was going to be on the next call. You made sure that there were very clear next steps with a meeting time, and you created a mutual plan of what's going to happen on that next call. So as the prospect, Adam knows what's going to happen, even in the next phone call that you have. I thought that was really impressive. And of course, your calm demeanor, like, I could listen to you all day. So really fantastic job. And I'm super proud of you.
That's great. Thanks, Megan.
All right. I believe I'm next.
That's right, Kenny. Thanks.
Great. Thanks, Adam. Hey, Nitesh. Really good job. A couple things to call you out on. Firstly, your creativity. I really appreciated your creativity in your presentation and just your style and approach. So whether it was the Zoom background or specifically calling out receiving a message from a client live on the demo around a successful integration, I really appreciated that. The use of social proof is so key in the sales process. because people want to follow in the path of people similar to them, or understand what people similar to them are doing. So any opportunity you get to leverage your clients or communicate what similar roles or similar stakeholders have done at other organizations, I think will always help. I also think the way you just entered the conversation with the recap and then going in the demo gave you a little bit more time to play around with. So it's just a creative way of structuring the conversation, which I really appreciated. It was extremely evident that you knew precisely what your product was good at and the features and where it could help a client. And you exhibited that confidence throughout that entire conversation. So I really love that. I think there was an opportunity there to tie that back to some of the specific things that you called out in the recap. So just saying very quickly, here's what we discussed, but also I want to remind you that you brought this exact point up in our recap, and here's the relationship of how we can solve that problem. And so always tying back to what they said and making sure that, because throughout the sales process, they're like, all right, these are the 3 things that bother me. How are you making sure that you're tying back to those 3 things? So I thought that was good. I appreciated you ending ahead of schedule. That's always really nice, and being mindful of someone else's time. Even calling that out just shows a level of empathy and appreciation for your prospect. And we're all humans here. People want to work with other humans. So anytime that you can bring some emotion into it really, really helps. And then I also liked how you held them accountable to next steps. You created a very good lasting impression there. I think one thing that I would have loved to see you do is put a little bit more pressure on Adam. Make him work for it. Create some urgency. Ask Adam, hey, Adam, who else needs to be involved to make this decision on your end? Who else is going to play a factor in supporting this within the organization? And I think a lot of times we're a little bit scared to put a bit of pressure on the prospect in fear that they may not necessarily want to work with us. But I think it's good to have those open conversations and just making sure that you're holding Adam accountable for being as involved and participating in the sales process as well. But nice job. Really enjoyed your presentation.
Right on. Donna, how are you? Are you up for some feedback for Nicholas?
Yeah, absolutely. Nicholas, that was fantastic for so many reasons. Everybody was fantastic for so many reasons, and it's truly a pleasure to get to share some specific thoughts and feedback with you, because you did do such an excellent job. Opening up with just a smile. I know we say smile and dial, but the reality is being able to smile and bring that energy and that friendliness and enthusiasm to a conversation, and the whole conversation just makes such a significant difference. And you did that to demonstrate empathy. You leaned in, you helped lean on that to develop rapport. So all of that was very powerful, and something that was, I think, unique to what you did. Actually, sorry, I'm going to skip through I realize you're not on my view and I want to see your face. Perfect. Okay. Something that you did that was very unique is you advocated for the values for Humi. You said at Humi, we believe in trust, and you added some color to that, but that was a theme that you carried throughout. And at the very end, you brought that back, and being there as a representative of the organization, and championing that and building alignment to build the trust and the partnership with the buyer and help demonstrate that Humi is an organization that puts their values first. I think that's significant and absolutely one of the things that I love when going through a buying process. And so I think you did that, and then you tied it back together in the end as well, which was super effective. I'm cognizant of time, so I'm just going to bang through my notes to make sure I'm giving you value in this. You did a fantastic job with conducting research. I think we were all so surprised to learn what we did. So I think, wherever you found that, good job, kudos to you. And then again, referencing at the end just really helps establish that relationship and partnership alignment. Active listening, you summarized what you heard, and you said things like, it sounds like, and then got buy-in and alignment from Adam, which was fantastic. At the very beginning and part of your discovery, there was an opportunity to lean into the pain that you discovered. So you mentioned, how determined are you to make that change, which is fantastic to help emphasize the urgency. But there's also an opportunity to say, what's your ideal world? right at the beginning, or what's the cost to your business if we don't solve this right at the beginning. You brought it back in at the end, which was great. Really loved that. But being able to frame it up at the beginning can also help you just hammer home some of those points, which you did very well in the demo itself. Yes, you jumped right to the relevant content. As soon as you screen shared, you did not force us to listen to or look at features that we didn't identify as being top priority. So thank you. I thought that was very respectful of time and very custom to the buyer's needs. Again, we'll share these notes afterwards. I just want to hit on the big ones. And what I loved about at the very end, what you did was you verified the contact information for Adam that you had was accurate. That's great. That level of detail helps ensure that you are getting things to the right place. There was an opportunity to capture Greg's email there as well. It was, you already had Adam saying his email out loud. You know, is there an opportunity to get Greg to say his email out loud too, so you can just add them both to the invite at once? But overall, your humor and creativity were just fantastic, and the energy that you brought was fantastic as well. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you to our judges for your feedback. And once again, congratulations to all of our competitors for today and for the whole group of Team Mic Drop. It was a collaborative effort to get everybody here. And there was practice on the weekends, there was practice after class, before class, in some cases, and people were working together to support one another to be in a position where you can compress those 12 weeks of learnings into 15 minutes. Maybe we should do 12 weeks of learning in 12 minutes, something to consider for future. No? Okay, 15 minutes is good enough. So Adam, are we ready to announce our winner? Do we have the scores in? I think that they are.
I think we do, yeah.
Okay, so before you announce, I'll throw it back to you in just a moment, Adam. I'd like everybody who's in the room, in our Zoom room, please come off mute. Be ready to cheer and celebrate our next demo day champion. So come off mute, please. And then if you can be on camera, please be on camera. We'd love to hear everybody cheering and celebrating when we announce. So Adam, over to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, Greg. So in my mind, you're all winners. Like Greg said, everybody has brought forth such a fantastic, fantastic effort, your guys' prep. Like everybody has said here, this is the hardest pitch you're ever going to do. You're on YouTube Live, you've got, an audience. Typically, this is not the case in any of these. But without further ado, our grand winner here, our champion for today's demo day is Nicholas.
Nicholas!
Oh, yeah!
Hey!
Congratulations, man.
Great job, Nicholas.
Thank you very much, everybody. Thank you very much.
Great job, everyone.
Way to go, buddy.
You guys did an amazing effort, and I'm so happy, Nicholas, that you pulled out the W here. This is great. Your research was fantastic. You really surprised. I have no idea where you found the details on me 3D printing, but that was incredible.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Like, I want to say a huge thank you to everyone from Rizal. He was my first point of contact, right? So from Rizal to Greg, Alex, Joseph Fong, everybody, like Team Mic Drop, all my guys, like it was really fun all the way. Like, I'm gonna miss you guys for real. Trust me. Nawab, Atem, everyone. It's gonna be like it was a really wonderful ride. And yeah, I think it was something it's something I wouldn't trade for anything, because it was able to not just teach but also help in discovering myself in the process, so which it makes complete sense. So yeah, thank you everyone. Patriz, Bernard, Adam.
Love that, Nicholas.
To give you a quick tip, I got that from your interview you did with Van Dohan.
Oh
yeah. I had to
there we go.
Yeah, so I got it out, like, wow, nice. So I had to use it.
Good job.
Thank you, everyone.
Congratulations, Nicholas. To everyone, that was an incredibly close race, and you all should just be so tremendously proud. Thank you, Adam, for delivering that news. That was hard. Would have been hard to do, because there was a lot of very close scores in there. So congratulations, everybody. Before we wrap up, we're going to try to give everybody a little bit of time back. I've got a couple of housekeeping items, so please don't run off just yet. A couple of things to share, and then we'll let everybody go. To all of you watching on YouTube, we hope you enjoyed this competition. It is a summary of all that is learned, and we have a whole cohort who is set to graduate from the Uvaro program tomorrow and become part of our graduate community. So Nicholas, you said you're going to miss everybody, but don't worry, nobody's going anywhere. We're here, and everyone is there to continue to support your career and everyone's career for the long haul. For anyone watching, if you're an employer and you saw the competitors today and you're looking to get an introduction to any of our grads, please just let us know. In this cohort, almost 3/4 have already been hired over the course of the 12 weeks, and everyone is in active conversations. And so please, if you're looking to get connected with any of our cohorts and any of our community members, just let us know. If you'd like to follow any of our upcoming demo days, you can do that by visiting our website. And for employers that are trying to get a sense for who in our community might be a good fit in your organization, we've got a hot sheet that we send out each month. And so you can get that from us to see and hear about the different members of our community who are coming in and are looking for great opportunities potentially in your organization. We have more events like this coming up. So we have another demo day that will be happening Thursday, November 11th is our next demo day where you'll be able to see 4 more competitors in action. And we do have events that we're running each week. We have a Step into Tech, which is a way to get introduced to what the tech world and the world of tech sales is all about. So if you're interested in potentially pursuing a career in tech sales, that's a great way to get introduced. And we run that each week at 6 p.m. Eastern time. I think we had 12 people there last night tuned in, and every week that population is growing of new people just looking to get into the world of tech sales. And then a coaching series that continues on October 20th at noon, where you get to learn how to use Canva to ramp up and supercharge your resume. With that, I just want to say thank you once again for joining us. Thank you for continuing to support our community, and so look forward to having you along this journey with us and supporting our grads. Again, please follow, like, and share and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you enjoyed what you saw, and help celebrate the success of our community members. Thanks, everybody.